Okay, so we're going to finish the interfaces. This is interfaces part 2. Now, the reason why I got this error down here is because I have to define every abstract formula in my GeoFormulas interface. And I've only defined, as you can see, I've only defined surface area. I have to do volume. And because I have not defined volume, it gave me an error. So let's go ahead and finish this before we can compile it. So public double volume. All right. So we have to return a double. So we return now 4/3. There's something wrong here. What's wrong with this? 4 divided by 3. What's going to happen? I'm going to get a wrong answer, aren't I? Because 4 divided by 3 is 1, because it's integer division. So to fix that, I'm going to make one of these puppies a decimal. And now I don't have a problem. Times pi times math.pow this dot radius power 3. Okay, don't forget this has to be, because this is integer division, one of them has to be a double. Okay, so now we're going to do the overloaded one. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to copy, paste. I'm going to put double radius in here, and then I'm going to get rid of the this, and now we're going to compile it, and everything is happy now because we have defined all 4 of the interface abstract formulas that are inner formulas. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make a program called square. Instead of sphere, we're going to make a program called square. So I'm going to do a lot of code reuse for the sake of time, because I don't want this video to be too long, and because you can always stop and go back and watch, freeze it, type it out. All right. So File, New, Java. I'm going to go to Sphere. I'm going to do Control All, Control Copy. I'm going to go over here, Control V, and I'm going to drag this open so I can get to my find. Now here, I'm going to look for sphere. I'm going to replace it with square, and I'm going to replace all. All right, and then I'm going to compile it. I'm going to put it desktop with the other guys. All right, so just to go over it. Line 6, square implements our 2 interface programs. It uses radius. We're going to change this radius to, I don't know, let's change it to a 5. And then we can also dictate. Now our formula is wrong. So the surface area of a square is 4 times math dot pow this dot side. We gotta change that squared. All right. So this has got to be side, right? Let's do a global replace. All right. So let's look radius and change it out for side. Okay, bam. So now we have side. Side is 5, okay. And then we have our two constructors. We have one with that's always a 5, and the other one we define as what side is going to be. And this is 4 times the side squared. And here, oh, come on. All right, let me go up here to this bar. Here we just have double side. All right, so we're all set there. Now we got to go down here and change this volume. This is not the volume of a square. The volume of a square is math.pow side, comma 3. All right, in this case, it's this dot. And we're just gonna okay. So it's side. Now, the one thing, if we want to print, these are objects, right? One thing I forgot to do is the sphere and a square are both objects. So to print an object, you're going to have to make a toString. So we need one more. Public string toString. All right, so we're going to return. All right. Square with a side length of concat this side concat inches. Okay. And we also need that. All right, so let's compile, make sure everything's fine. Okay, everything's fine. Let's copy this toString. All right, copy, go over to our sphere, and go to the bottom of our formulas. Let's put that in there. toString. All right, so we want a sphere with a radius length of this radius. All right, sphere with the radius length of blah inches. Okay, so we have our square program that implements these two interfaces, and we have our sphere program that implements the two interfaces. And now what we want to do is we want to test it. So let's go to our tester. So file, new, Java. We're going to call this the GeoShape tester tests our interfaces. I can't type. There we go. So public static, no, wait, public class geo shape tester, open and close parentheses. Then our main method, public static void main string, open and close, args. All right, so in here we're going to make some objects. So we're going to make a square. I'm going to call it cube 1, because probably should have called that program cube, but we're not really made a square, we're made a cube. Oh, I guess I should change that, right, to cube. No, I'm not going to change it. So there's our default one. How big should this one be? Let's make it 15. And let's see if they make them, if we actually made them. So let's print them. Let's print both of them. All right, now let's compile it. Save it. Put in the same place. Remember, all 5 of these things have to be in the same folder. Oh, I forgot the word new. Don't forget the word new. Okay, so let's run it. All right. So square with a side length of 5, square with a side length of 15. We really do know that it's a cube, so at least I'm going to change that. I'm going to go back to my toString, change it to cube, because it really is a cube. Go back to my tester, run it. That's much better. A cube with a side length of 5, a cube with a side length of 15. All right, that makes me feel a little bit better. Now what we want to do is we want to test all 4 of our methods. And we're going to do that with a once and done. We're not going to save it to a variable, we're just going to do it. So system.out.println. All right. The surface area of cube 1 is concatenate cube 1 dot surface area square inches. All right, so there's that one. Now what we're going to do is we're going to copy this and we're going to give it a different side length. We're going to give it like a 7. And then we're going to compile it. We're going to test it. So the surface area is 5 times 5 times 5, which is correct. And this one is 7 times 7 times 7. Or that's volume, sorry. Alright, so we have some more. Now we got to do surface area. Well, that was surface area. Now let's do volume. Alright, so I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Alright, so the volume of cube 1. Alright, we could make this 2. Now let's make this 1. Make this one 2. And this is going to be volume. We're going to give it a different side length. So let's give it to 12. Alright, so compile this. I'm going to run it. Alright. Oops. Gotta change this to a 2. Sorry. There. Compile, make sure it looks good. Alright, so there's our calculations of our cube. So now what we want to do is we want to do the same thing for our sphere. So I'm going to copy all this. Paste it. Now we want to change this to sphere. And I'm going to call it ball 1. Sphere. This is sphere. Call this ball 2. This is sphere. I'm going to change this to a 10. I'm going to change it to a 9. Ooh, not 19, 9. Alright, so then we're going to print our 2 balls. And okay, and then here, the surface area of ball 1. And this is going to be ball 1 surface area. This is going to be ball 2. This changes to ball. And this is ball 1. This is ball 2. Change these the same. Gonna compile. Alright, and then we run it. Whoa, that's a lot of decimals. Alright, so we have all this information. Cube with a side length of 5, cube with a side length of 15. Surface area of ball, cube 1, cube 2, volume of cube 1, cube 2, sphere with a radius of 10, sphere with a radius of 9, surface area of ball 1, surface area of ball 2, volume of ball 1, and volume of ball 2. So just in summary, you make your two interfaces, or you make your interfaces, and then you implement them. As you can see here, you implements, that's the key word, and you automatically have access to all the constants, and in your interface with methods, these are abstract and must be defined in the program that implements it. That's all we have.